Good evening. My name is Heidi Perez. I am the membership director for the North Carolina Reading Association. And I am super excited today to have author and former classroom teacher Annette Saunooke Clapsaddle with us today.
So I was born and raised in Cherokee, North Carolina, where the Qualla Boundary is, home of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. But in 2020, I published my debut novel, Even As We Breathe. And of course, we'll talk about how that all came about. But and my novel is the first published novel and the only published novel by a member of my tribe, by the Eastern Band of Cherokee. And I think that's such a tragedy, that it's, 2020, well, the book came out in 2020, right? And we've been here a while for over 10,000 years, right? And we had the first written indigenous language in the Americas prior to the Indian Removal Act. So that to me is very sad. And what that also meant is that I never saw anyone from my community represented in literature growing up. The first indigenous writer I remember reading was when I was, I think, in middle school or early high school, and my mom handed me a copy of one of Sherman Alexie's books. And that's the first time I realized that I could write about my authentic community. Prior to that, my first attempt as a little girl, really, I was going to write a novel, was set in Maine, and I had never even visited Maine. So, so I had several groups of students who went through the process with me. And then I had a group of seniors who were with me when I received news that the book would be published. And they were because they're AP Lit students, so all of them were freshmen in college the next year when the book came out. And I received a text message from one of their mothers. And her son's name is Colby, and he is an enrolled citizen of our tribe, and he was a freshman at UNC Chapel Hill. And he had texted his mom to say, the screenshot is a recording of their conversation. He had texted his mom to say that, Mom, I just read Annette's book. And her response was, well, what did you think of it? And he said, Mama, I've never seen myself in a book before. And when I read that, and I've told this story so many times, and I still get cold chills every time I say it. It is just a stark reminder that so many of our young people have never seen themselves on the pages of the books that we assign to them. And because of that, there is that question of, is their voice important? Is their voice a part, of this country, of this literary world? And if we use literature to really kind of play out our values in this country and cope with tragedy in this country and everything that literature does, to think about that no member of my tribe has ever been able to do that with a novel before. I just, I'm so glad that this book is out in the world, and that now, students at least have one reference point, but I'm really eager to see other authors from the Eastern Band and other indigenous communities and underrepresented communities become more visible. Because I think to see yourself on a page is to believe that you have a place in this world.